Good morning and welcome to English Lessons on Iman TV. We're going to start our lesson with the test of the words that we studied before. Words, another word for word is what? Vocabulary. So you're going to have a vocabulary test. And then we're going to look at some verbs, the irregular form of the past tense of verbs. We're going to cover that one. And then we'll end our lesson with teaching you some new words. It's all on occupation. So let's start our lesson with a test of words. The words that I'm going to test you on, the test format is multiple choice. So you have a word and then 4 answers, A, B, C, and D. One of them is the correct answer. So I want you to think of that, find that correct answer and circle your answer. So question number 1. Farmers use different kinds of blank to help their plants grow faster and better. What word will fit here better? A, crops. B, dirt. C, fertilizer. D, plants. Which one is the correct answer? Let me read the sentence again. Farmers use different kinds of what? Different kinds of crops, different kinds of dirt, different kinds of fertilizer, different kinds of plants to help their plants grow faster. What's your answer? The correct answer is fertilizer. Remember, fertilizer means what? Plant food. So if you use fertilizer, the plants grow better and faster and they look healthier. Okay? Fertilizer. Please repeat. Fertilizer. Plant food. Question number 2. In very traditional forms, farmers don't use blank. Which word will fit in this blank space? A, water. B, machines. C, animals. D, seeds. Which one is correct answer? In very traditional forms, farmers don't use A, B, C, D. Which one did you choose? Which one fits better there? Which one makes the sentence more meaningful? The correct answer is they use what? In very traditional forms, farmers don't use what? Machines, because everything is done what? Manually. They don't use machines in older style farming. Let's go to the next page. Question number 3. Again, it's the same format. I give you a sentence with 1 blank space with 4 answers, A, B, C, and D. You choose the best answer to make the sentence meaningful. Question number 3. In a coffee farm, workers blank pick between 20 to 40 pounds of coffee a day. Which word is correct here? A, always. B, rarely. C, never. D, typically. Which one is the correct answer? In a coffee farm, workers pick A, B, C, D. We studied these words like always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, seldom, and never, like probably 4 or 5 weeks ago. So I want to see if you still remember the meaning. The correct answer is what? Not A, always, not rarely, which means almost never, and not never, but what? Typically, meaning what? Usually. So in a coffee farm, workers typically pick between 20 to 40 pounds of coffee a day. Question number 4. In a blank, we can find different kinds of medicine. In a what? What would fit in this blank? A, pharmacy. B, hardware store. C, ambulance. D, department store. Which one is the one that you find a lot of medicine? The correct answer is Which one did you choose first of all? What is your idea? In a blank, we can find different kinds of medicine. The correct answer is pharmacy. Pharmacy is like what you call a drugstore. It's where you find all kinds of medicine. Question number 5. We can blank a fire by pouring water on it. We can do what? A, start. B, exit. C, exercise. D, extinguish. Which one is the correct answer? We can what? Start, exit, exercise, extinguish. The correct answer is extinguish. And extinguish means what? Extinguish, kill a fire, okay? So we can kill a fire by pouring water on it, okay? We can extinguish a fire by pouring water on it. Question number 6. Umaid wants to blank in medicine because he wants to become a doctor. Umaid wants to do what? A, major. B, study. C, finish. D, graduate. Which one is the correct answer? We studied this word like about 3 to 4 weeks ago. What is the right answer? Umaid wants to A, B, C, D. The correct answer is A, major. Umaid wants to major in medicine because he wants to be a doctor. Major means what? A field of study. When you major in a field of study, you get that profession. So if you major in education, you become a teacher. If you major in engineering, you become an engineer. If you major in medicine, you become a doctor. Major. Let's go to the next page. Question number 7. Some people blank when they are sleepy or tired. What do people do when they're sleepy and tired? A, smile. B, yawn. C, yawn again. And D, cry. So there is an error. One of them should not be yawn. What is the correct answer? People usually, I've given you too many yawns, so yawn must be the correct answer. So people usually yawn when they are sleepy or tired. Question number 8. Many Americans believe that blank is the best medicine. What is the best medicine? A, crying. B, laughter. C, smiling. D, Tylenol. So which one? This is something we studied many weeks ago, that Americans believe that what is the best medicine? The correct answer is, which one? Crying, laughter, smiling, or Tylenol? The correct answer is laughter, laughing, right. Many Americans believe that laughter is the best medicine. Let's go to the next page. These are the last 2 questions of the quiz. Number 9. Blank and seek is a popular game among children in many different countries and cultures. A, hide and seek. B, find and seek. C, catch and seek. D, touch and seek. Which one is the best answer that will fill this blank and make the sentence meaningful? We studied this probably 5 or 6 weeks ago, this word hide. Hide means what? Not to become visible. So the correct answer is what? Hide. Hide and seek is a famous game around the world, actually. In Farsi, we do the same thing. One person hides, other people hide, and one person is looking for that. So that's our one person hides, other people are looking for that. And that is what? Hide and seek game. Children play that. Number 10. An architect is an engineer who designs A, cars, B, buildings, C, computer, and D, airplanes. Which one is the correct answer? What does an architect design? The correct answer is buildings. Architects design buildings. Remember, the word for architect in Farsi is what? Muhandis. So a muhandis makes what? Designs buildings. Now let's go to the next page. So I hope you've done well on this test. I certainly hope you've got all of them right, or at least 8 or 7 of them right. So the next part of this is verbs with present form, past form, and past participle form. So this is in relation to what? To the irregular verbs. So here they are. The verbs that we are going to study this week are what? Sink. Please repeat after me. Sink. Sit. Sleep. Slide. Speak. Spin. Spread. Stand. Steal. Stick. So these are the words that is alphabetically we are on S. So these are irregular verbs. Means the past form of these words do not take D. They're irregular. So we need to learn what? We need to learn the correct spelling of these words. So you know what sink means? Swim. When you swim, you go above the water, right? On the surface of the water. If you don't know how to swim, you sink. You go down. So sink means go down the water. Sit is clear. Sleep is clear. Slide means what? To move smoothly on a surface, right? Like sometimes you go and buy something, you get your credit card, you slide it on that machine. You move it on that machine on a surface. Everybody knows speak and spend, like you spend money, you spend time, you spend your vacation. Spread means what? Something that goes from one person into another, or from one thing into another. Like if somebody has a cold or flu and you cough, the disease spreads. It goes from one person into another. Spread. Or you have something to say, you say something, other people hear it, so you spread the words, you spread the news. It means you tell it to other people. Stand is sit down, stand, sit. That's the thing, it's easy. Steal is also, I think, a common word, most of you know, and that means what? To take somebody else's property without his or her knowledge or permission. That's steal. And stick means what? The stick means to something to adhere to something, to put it on something. Like you stick, let's say, a gum on a chair, for example. That's stick. The stick has many meanings, but that's one of the meanings. So what is the past tense of sink? The past tense of sink is what? Sank. And the past tense of sit is what? Sat. See, I changes to A. Sleep, the past tense is what? Slept. Slide, the past tense is slid. Look at the spelling of slid. We drop the E, the pronunciation also changes. With E, the present form, we pronounce it slide, I. Without E, we pronounce it slid. Number 5, speak. The past tense is spoke. Spin. The past tense is spent. You change D to T. Spread. The past tense is the same thing, same pronunciation, same spelling. Stand. The past tense is stood. Steal. The past tense is stole. And stick. The past tense is stuck. So again, these are irregular verbs. So we need to memorize how to spell them. So when you talk about the past activity, you need to use or write this form. When you use it orally, you have to say it right, pronounce it right. When you write it, you have to say it right and also spell it correctly. That's what we are doing. Okay? Now let's look at the past participle form, the third form. So it's sunk. The past tense of sit and sat is what? The same thing as simple past, sat. Slept, slept. Slid, the same thing, slid. Spoke, spoken. See, you change the third form to spoken. Spent, the same, spent. Spread, the same, spread. Stood, the same, stood. Stole changes to stolen. And stuck is the same, stuck. Now what I want you to do is to repeat after me together these words, and then we are going to use them in sentences. Please repeat after me together. I'm going to say the first form, the second form, and the third form of each of these words. Please repeat. Number one, sink, sank, sunk. See, the difference between A and U is what? In A you say sank. The jaw and the chin drops. Sank. With U, you say what? Sunk. It doesn't drop. Okay? Repeat again, please. Sink, sank, sunk. Number two. Sit, sat, sat. Number three. Sleep, slept, slept. Number four. Slide, slid, slid. Number four. Speak, spoke, spoken. Number five. Number five is what? Speak, spoke, spoken. Number six. Spin, spent, spent. Number seven. Spread, spread, spread. Number eight. Stand, stood, stood. Number nine. Stole, stolen. Excuse me. And number 10 is stick, stuck, stuck. Now, let's go to the next page. Here, I have two slides to practice this. On the first slide, we have the first 5 words. In the second slide, we have another 5 words. So for the first part, the words are sink, sit, sleep, slide, and speak. So what I want you to do is this. I want you to look at these words and sentences and see which word could fit in each sentence. The meaning is clear. Secondly, you need to decide which form of the word can you use. Can you use the simple present form? These are the tenses we studied. Can you use the simple past tense? Can you use present progressive tense? Can you use past progressive tense? So these are the 4 tenses we studied. Which one can you use? So let's look at sentence number 1. Who made blank about his major to his counselor? Number 2. While Rahman, the phone rang. Number 3. Sima always near the fireplace. Number 4. While the ship, a helicopter rescued the crew of the ship. Number 5. The floor doesn't. Please fix it. Now, which word fits in each of these blank spaces, and which form can you use? So for number 1, who made about his major to his counselor. So what do you do with your major to the counselor? You usually do what? You speak about it. So you could say what? Umaid spoke about his major to his counselor. But because we don't have time there like yesterday or last week or 2 weeks ago or every day, so I use past tense, but if you use present tense, that's also correct. You could say what? Umaid speaks about his major to his counselor. Counselor is what? A person in a school or college that helps students plan their future career, their future coursework. That's called a counselor. So I chose past form. Umaid spoke about his major to his counselor. So if you're a school student and you don't know what your major is, what you want to study, please talk to your counselor. Your school counselor will help you choose the right major, the right field of study. Number 2, while Rahman, the phone rang. See, while shows what? You need to use what? Past progressive, a long action in the past. So while Rahman what? Was sleeping, the phone rang. After sleeping, we should have what? A comma. While Rahman was sleeping, the phone rang. Ring, rang is the past form. Sleep, slept, but because you use while, you have to say he was sleeping. So sleeping is a long action. Let's say Rahman slept from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Between this time, the phone rang. Okay? So was sleeping is a long action. The phone rang is a short action. Sentence number 3. Sima always near the fireplace. Sima always what? The best answer is what? To say Sima always sits near the fireplace. So there is a picture of the fireplace here. So Sima sits by the fireplace. Number 4. While the ship, a helicopter, rescued the crew of the ship. While a ship was doing what? A ship could what? Could float or it could go down. What is the word for the ship to go down? The word is sink. So while the ship was sinking, sinking means what? It was slowly and slowly and slowly going down the water. So while the ship was sinking, a helicopter rescued the crew of the ship. Rescued means what? Saved. Crew means the workers on the ship, people that they clean the ship, people that they run the ship, the sailors, all are people that they cook on the ship. They're all the crew. Okay? So the ship was going down, a helicopter came and rescued the crew. Number 5. The door doesn't. Please fix it. The door doesn't what? The correct answer is the door doesn't slide. Remember, slide was what? If something moves on a surface smoothly. So if you have a door and you want to slide it and it doesn't move, you have to bring somebody to fix it. Okay? So let me read these sentences with correct completion, then we will go to the next page. Umaid spoke about his major to his counselor. Number 2. While Rahman was sleeping, the phone rang. Number 3. Sima always sits near the fireplace. Number 4. While the ship was sinking, a helicopter rescued the crew of the ship. The door doesn't slide. Please fix it. Let's go to the next page. In the next page, we also have 5 words from that list of 10. You have the same job, and that is what? Read the sentences. See which word fits in each sentence. So first think about the meaning of the word. Then after that, think about the form of the verb. Do you use simple present, present progressive, simple past, or past progressive? Remember, so far we studied only 4 tenses. Next week I will teach you future tense and future progressive tense. But for now, we have only these 4 tenses. Number 1, a good Muslim doesn't blank other people's property. Number 2, Dr. Irshad 3 months in Makkah in 2011. Number 3, the children on the stage. Number 4, Habib a piece of gum on the wall when the teacher saw him. Number 5, Jamal butter on his toast every morning. So let's look now which word fits where. Number 1, A good Muslim doesn't what? Other people's property. Which word goes with property? Property means what? Something that belongs to other people. Like if I have these glasses, for example, this is my property, or these are my property. This laptop is my property. It belongs to me. So anything belongs to you, that's your property. Your house, your car, things are your property, not people. Your children are not your property. So things, at least in English. A good Muslim doesn't what? Doesn't steal other people's property. Good Muslims all follow the rule of Quran, and Quran is against stealing other people's property. It tells us strictly, don't steal. Number 2, Dr. Irshad blank, 3 months in Makkah in 2011. I just made this sentence. I really don't know whether he did that or not, but just to see this sentence, which word could fit here? The correct answer is spent. Spent means what? You went from California to Saudi Arabia and spent 3 months in 2011 in Makkah. Spent. Because 2011 is a very specific time in the past. You use simple past tense. Number 3, the children on the stage. What are the children doing on the stage? The children are standing on the stage. Stage is what? Raised platform. Number 4, Habib, a piece of gum on the wall when the teacher saw him. So what did Habib do? Habib was sticking a piece of gum on the wall when the teacher saw him. I brought you some pictures of gum, that's what I meant. So this is different types of gums over different colors. So some people chewing gum. So sometimes people stick it what? To the wall or the bottom of the chairs or desks. Number 5, Jamal, butter on his toast every morning. So another place where you could use the word spread is to spread butter. You could spread news, you could spread disease, you could spread also butter. Means you put it on the toast and you spread it. Now let me read all these sentences with correct completions. Sentence number 1. A good Muslim. There are a lot of bad Muslims that they do bad things. Like you go to Afghanistan, people in power, they steal the government property, the people's property. But good Muslims, a good Muslim doesn't steal other people's property. Number 2, Dr. Irshad spent 3 months in Makkah in 2011. Number 3, the children are standing on the stage. Number 4, Habib was sticking a piece of gum on the wall when the teacher saw him. Number 5, Jamal spreads butter on his toast every morning. Now let's go to the next page. On next page, what we have is we have more words, but these are new words about occupations. Occupation means what? Jobs, okay? So let's see what the words are and see if you know them, and then we'll use them in sentences. So I'm going to show you a picture and ask you if you know what the job of this person is. So what is this person's occupation? What is his job? What does he do? Look at him. He has a brush and he wants to do something on the walls. You call this kind of a person what? He is a painter. Okay? What does a painter do? What does a painter do? The answer is what? A painter paints wall. You paint and change the color from white to cream to pink to blue to whatever. So a painter paints a wall. He is a painter. What does a painter do? A painter paints walls. Painter is also somebody who draws pictures. People that they have special talent, that they look at the mountain and they draw the picture of the mountain. Or they look at the person and they draw the person's picture. That's also called what? A painter. Let's go to the next page. Let's look at this person. What do you call a person who pumps gas in other people's cars? So what is his occupation? That's as a job. I mean, all of us go to the gas station and put gas in our car. But that's not our job, that we do it for our own car. But in some gas stations, you go and there's a special person who does this. This person is called, he's a gas station attendant, okay? Gas station attendant. What does a gas station attendant do? A gas station attendant pumps gas into cars. A gas station attendant pumps gas into cars. So, gas station attendant. Let's go to the next page. What do you call this? What is his occupation? So people that they what? They cut the meat, they sell the meat, actually they slaughter the animals. What do you call these people? They are called? What is the answer? What is his occupation? The correct answer is butcher. He is a butcher. It's B-U-T-C-H-E-R. T is silent. You don't pronounce it, okay? You just say butcher. No T. But you have to write it when you spell it. He's a butcher. What does a butcher do? What does a butcher do? A butcher cuts and sells meat. So first, they what? They kill the animal. They slaughter the animal. And then they cut the meat and sell the meat. That kind of a person is called a butcher. He's a butcher. What does a butcher do? A butcher cuts and sells meat. What about this person who sits at the desk and manages schools? What is his occupation? He is what? He is a school principal. School principal. What does a school principal do? What does a school principal do? A school principal manages a school. Like a manager of a restaurant, the manager of a hotel, the manager of school is called what? Principal. Okay? Principal. Look at the spelling. P-R-I-N-C-I-P-A-L. There's another word with as the same pronunciation, but the spelling is different. Okay? So, what is his occupation? He is a school principal. What does a school principal do? A school principal manages a school. What about this person? What is his occupation? He makes the sketch or designs of buildings. Okay? A person who designs buildings is called what? Architect. He's an engineer. Building engineer is an architect. Muhandis in Farsi. What does an architect do? An architect or an engineer designs buildings. An architect or an engineer or a building engineer designs buildings. Architect. What about this person that changes one language into another? Okay? Somebody speaks English, you change English to Farsi, or you change English to Pashto. What do you call that person? He's an interpreter. Interpreter. What does an interpreter do? An interpreter changes one language into another. So there is another word which means the same thing, but it's slightly different. Translator. So in English, they make a distinction between if you translate somebody when somebody talks, like I'm talking to you in English. If I change my, like I said, interpreter, tarjuman. So if you do it like this, in Farsi we have only one word, tarjuman. But in English you have two words. One is interpreter, when you do change one language into another orally. And the other type is what? When you write it. You don't say it, but you change it in writing. That's called translator. Okay? So when you go to a court when you go to a doctor, if you need help with English language, you need an interpreter, okay? Interpreter. Which in Farsi we say tarjuman, but in English, interpreter is the tarjuman that does the thing orally. And if you do it in writing, that will be translator, okay? So what is his occupation? He's an interpreter. What does an interpreter do? An interpreter changes one language into another. Okay, let's look at this his occupation. He's the person who builds wall. He's not an engineer. It's a little bit lower than an engineer. Engineer tells him what to do. What do you call this person? Deals with cement, with mud, and makes what? Walls. This person is called a mason. He is a mason. What does a mason do? A mason builds walls and houses, okay? Mason builds walls and houses. What do you call a person who works in a church or in a mosque, leads prayers? What is his occupation, or the people that are standing there? What is their occupation? In English, you call this a priest, okay? If you say imam, that's what you call it in Farsi or in Arabic. Imam. Imam is not an English word. It's a Farsi word or Arabic word. But in English, you call that a priest, okay? Priest. A priest is somebody who works in a church, leads prayers, or a priest is somebody who works in a mosque, leads prayers. That person is called a priest. What does a priest do? A priest leads prayers. When people pray, he's the leader of the people that they pray. So in English, that's what you call it. Priest. So please repeat after me. Priest. What does a priest do? A priest leads prayers. And they work in what? In mosques, in churches, in synagogues. They have the same name in English, priest. What about this person who takes X-ray pictures? What is his occupation? He is an X-ray technician. It could be a teacher, or it could be what? A technician. And I think it's a misspelling of technician. It's T-E-C-H-N-I-C-I-N. Technician. He's an X-ray technician. What does an X-ray technician do? And the second time you see it, the spelling is correct. What does an X-ray technician do? An X-ray technician takes pictures, take X-ray pictures, okay? Technician, X-ray technician. So people go for special training, usually takes 2-3 semesters of college work to become a technician, 9 months, 12 months. Now, so these are the words that we did today. So please repeat after me together. Painter, gas station attendant, butcher, school principal, architect, interpreter, linguist. Linguist was something I didn't teach you, but I would like you to know. Mason, priest, X-ray technician, X-ray technician. So what is the meaning of a painter? What does a painter do? A painter is a person, someone who paints a house or who paints a picture. That's a painter. Gas station attendant. What does a gas station attendant do? A gas station attendant is what? A person, someone pumping gas into cars. They pump gas into cars. How about the butcher? A butcher is what? Someone who cuts and sells meat. School principal is somebody who does what? Who manages a school. Architect is what? Someone who designs buildings. And number 6, interpreter. What kind of a person is an interpreter? An interpreter is somebody who's changing one language into another. Linguist is someone who studies languages, studies how people learn languages. That's linguist. So an interpreter is not a linguist. Mason is someone building roads and homes. And priest is someone working in a church or in a mosque or masjid. X-ray technician is someone who's taking X-ray pictures. Okay? Now, please repeat these new words after me together. Painter, gas station attendant, butcher, school principal, architect, interpreter, linguist, mason, priest, X-ray technician. So what I want you to do is that I've taught you a lot of words, a lot of occupation words in the past several weeks. So I really want you to look at all these videos and repeat and review. The main thing is what? That you could learn how to spell these words. Because once you learn the spelling, you can also say it right. Okay? So now let's go to the next page. The next page is actually the last page. But before I go to the last page, I want you to review these past tense of the verb. This is your homework for next week that you need to review, practice, and learn how to spell these words. So the words are what? Sink. The past tense is what? Sank. Sit. Sat. Sleep. Slept. Slide. Slid. Speak. Spoke. Spin. Spint. Spread. Spread. Stood. Stand. Stood. Steal. Stole. Stick. Stuck. And then the past participle form is what? Sunk. Sat. Slept. Slid. Spoken. Spent. Spread. Stood. Stolen. And stuck. What I want you to do now, I want you to repeat these words one more time after me together, and then after that we will stop. So please repeat after me together. Remember your homework. This is your homework. So that's why I bring it to your attention at the end of the lesson. I introduced this to you at the beginning of the lesson, now at the end, that you need to, my expectation is this, that you read these and you take a pencil and a piece of paper and try to practice the spelling of these words, that you spell at least the present form and the past form correctly. Please repeat after me together. Number one, sink, sank, sunk. Number two, sit, sat, sat. Number three, sleep, slept, slept. Number four, slide, slid, slid. Number five, speak, spoke, spoken. Number six, spend, spent, spent. Number seven, spread, spread, spread. Number eight, stand, stood, stood. Number nine, steal, stole, stolen. And number 10, stick, stuck, stuck. So don't forget your homework. Your homework is what? Not only to review these words, but review all the words. It's a lot, it's accumulating. So far we have had 17 lessons. So it's a lot of lessons. So I really want you to review from lesson 1 to lesson 17 and review the words, the vocabulary, the grammar. But for next week, you need to learn the spelling of these words. And if you keep doing this, I'm 100% sure, although 1 hour a week is not enough, it's a good start, but if you keep reviewing these lessons, you will keep yourself busy. You could probably review 1 lesson a day, and then by next week, you will have reviewed 7 or 10 lessons. And this way, you could keep the knowledge fresh and you can learn a lot more. بیننده های بسیار محترم تلویزیون ایمان، درس امروز ما با امیجه به پایان رسید. تا هفته آینده همه شما را به خداوند متعال میسپارم. تشکر.